Have you ever felt that frustrating knot in your stomach when you want to speak English, but the words just won't come out? You know the vocabulary, you understand the grammar, but when it's your turn to talk, your mind goes blank. You're not alone. So many English learners face this exact same problem. They spend years studying, memorizing flashcards, and completing exercises, yet they can't speak fluently and confidently. What if I told you there's a secret, a missing piece of the puzzle that no one ever talks about? It's not a magic trick or some expensive course. It's a simple, powerful shift in how you practice that can unlock your speaking abilities faster than you ever thought possible. Stay with me, because by the end of this video you will know exactly what this secret is. The big secret is this: you need to stop just learning English and start using it in a very specific way. I'm talking about thinking directly in English. That's the trap. Most learners try to form a sentence in their native language first, then mentally translate it word for word into English before they speak. This translation process is slow, clunky, and the main reason you hesitate, stutter, and feel so unnatural. Think about it. When you speak your own language, do you translate? Of course not. The thoughts and words flow together instantly. The key is to bypass the translation step altogether. So, how do we actually start thinking in English? We begin with baby steps, super small, manageable steps. Don't try to have a complex philosophical debate in your head on day one. Start with single words. Look around your room right now. As your eyes land on an object, don't say the word in your native language first. Chair, window, book, phone. Do this for a few minutes every day. It feels simple, almost silly, but you are building a new habit. You're creating a direct link between the object and its English name, cutting out the middleman. Once you're comfortable with single words, it's time to level up to simple sentences. We're still not speaking out loud yet. This is all happening inside your head. Let's call this your internal monologue. Narrate your own life with basic sentences. Are you waking up? Think, I am waking up. The sun is bright. I need to get out of bed. Making coffee. I am getting a cup. I am pouring water. This coffee smells good. It doesn't have to be poetry. Keep it simple. You're practicing grammar and sentence structure in real time based on what's actually happening around you. This makes the language relevant and much easier to remember than abstract rules from a textbook. Now, let's address a common problem. What happens when you don't know a word? Let's say you're narrating your breakfast and you want to say you're using a spatula, but you don't know the word spatula. Here's where the magic happens. Do not immediately switch to your native language and look it up. First, try to describe it in English using words you do know. You might think, I am using the flat thing to flip my egg. It's the kitchen tool for the pan. This is an incredibly powerful skill called circumlocution. It forces you to be creative and flexible with the English you already have. It's what fluent speakers do all the time when they can't remember a specific word. It keeps you in the English zone and makes your brain work a little harder, strengthening your active vocabulary. Then, after you've tried to describe it, you can look up the word spatula. Okay, so you're thinking in single words and simple sentences. You're describing things when you don't know the name. The next step is to make your internal monologue a bit more complex. I will go to work. How will I get there? I will take the bus. You can also start adding opinions and feelings. Instead of just, I am drinking coffee, you can think, this coffee is delicious. I feel more awake now. By practicing this in the safe space of your own mind, you're preparing for real-world interactions without any of the pressure or fear of making a mistake. But we're going to do it in a way that builds on the confidence you've developed. But it is the most effective bridge between thinking in English and having a conversation in English. Find a time when you're alone in the car, in the shower, while cooking. Take your internal monologue and say it out loud. Okay, I need to make dinner. What should I make? I have chicken and some vegetables. Maybe I will make a stir-fry. Hearing your own voice speak English is crucial. It helps you get used to the sounds and rhythm of your own speech. You can catch pronunciation errors and awkward phrasing without any judgment. You're simply turning your thoughts into spoken words. At this point, you might wonder, how do I know if I'm saying things correctly? This is where active listening comes in. To speak well, you must listen well. But don't just passively hear English, listen with a purpose. Listen to 1 or 2 sentences, pause it, then repeat the sentences out loud, trying to copy the speaker's intonation, rhythm, and pronunciation. Exactly. This technique is called shadowing. It fine-tunes your ear and your mouth. You're not just learning words, you're learning the music of the language. Finally, the moment of truth, speaking with other people. After all this preparation, this step will feel far less intimidating. You've been thinking in English, narrating your life, talking to yourself, and shadowing native speakers. Maybe it's just ordering a coffee in English or asking for directions, or find a language exchange partner online, someone who is learning your native language and can help you with English. The key is to see these conversations not as a test but as a chance to play. It's an opportunity to use all the skills you've been practicing. You will make mistakes. Everyone does. Even native speakers make mistakes.